Hey divas, I had zero, nada, no effing idea what to talk about today. Like, genuinely zero clue. I even got technical and looked on YouTube Studios to see where people were coming from. To no help, to no avail. None of you helped me. Where were you when I needed you most? So finally, I landed on elaborating from my latest TikTok I made. See it now. Absorb it. Look at it some more. Okay. And for full disclosure, the full story time, like all of the context that you need, is in that video that is currently on your screen. This other YouTube video where that screenshot is currently flashing on your screen. Yep. That one. That has all, pretty much, not all, but like 90% of the context you need. In my TikTok, I mentioned some of the instances of my very toxic teachers I used to have when I was 14, 15 years old. So, a while ago. I'm 18 right now. I just graduated high school with 6 certificates and 18 college credits. This was a while ago. You may say I should have moved on. This was very formative for me as a person. And I don't get out much. This is my entire thing. And you know what? Let's keep the hate train going. Let's keep these good vibes rolling, you guys. Cause I've said it a million times. They had no grace. Nada. No grace for me as a disabled 14-year-old. Then they get no grace for being grown as bullies. Bullies, genuine bullies. Anyways, we're doing my nails while we are talking about all of this toxicity is, I think that's a word. I'm seeing it in my brain. I have a very imaginative brain. Have you guys ever seen the charts of the apple and see how much people can envision in their minds? And can be just blank, or it can be a full apple. I'm seeing the word toxicity. I think it's a word. I'm a writer. I should really know these things. But we're doing my nails. This is the inspo. I'll pop it up on the screen. I really wanted to do a yellow, a pale yellow with the purplish color, but we didn't have any. We only had bright yellows, which I wasn't really vibing with, so I did a blue instead. You'll see it eventually. It'll come around. I also do extensions. There's disasters to be said there. It's to be expected, and here is your fair warning. I am a beginner. I am a novice nail person doing my nails tech. Yeah. And I've done them forever. My mom would do them for me, or I would, put on press-ons since the 6th grade, but they've always just popped off my nails within 48 hours, 72 hours. Recently, they've been staying on for 4 days, which is an improvement for me, actually. I think it has to do something with my nail beds, because I shave these things down. I do so much prep, and they just pop off one by one, pop off, pop by neon, stream it. And they I don't even know. I wanted square too, and that was the whole thing. We only had almond extensions, and then I found some, and then just watch, okay?
Creative writing.
All right. So this first one really isn't too bad. It's more annoying than anything. Essentially, I was in creative writing sophomore year. I had won a lot of contests. I considered myself a good writer. Like, I did a lot of historical fiction. I always read historical fiction in school, and so that's what I wrote, or I'd write horror stories, stuff like that. And I considered myself a good writer, like a solid writer. And for context, for all of these, I have a 504, meaning I get accommodations in school. Well, I got accommodations in school. So I can be at an even playing field with kids who are in school all the time and did not have disabilities, because I was sick all of the time. Like, I got sick every month I was out of school. I only attended sophomore year for, count 'em, one day. I was in sophomore year for one day. Then I was too sick and couldn't walk normally. I could walk 50 steps and be dead. And I got put on homebound until I left school, essentially. And already we had beef with this teacher. We had beef with him because his wife, who I loved as a teacher, she was super sweet. She gave me a lot of grace on assignments. She was my 7th grade and 8th grade English teacher. And she was great in 8th grade years when I got sick, and I did basically no work for her class because she was like, yeah, she already knows this stuff. And to this day, I still think that she was a good teacher. This is not hate to her. She is a good teacher. I mean, I don't know what was going on in her life. Maybe it was just a time in her life. I don't know. I want to see the best in her, though. But she rented a house from us for super cheap when she was, kind of down on her luck. And she and her dog destroyed it. And this house has been through so much already. My grandma, because my aunt bought it for my grandma. Well, great aunt bought it from my grandma. And my grandma destroyed it. And so my mom, primarily my mom, fixed it up and made it this super cute little bungalow. It was so cute. And there were massive pea stains in the hardwood. The brand new deck was all chewed up. The beloved furniture, our furniture, was ripped, and all of these things. There were so many instances of things just being messed up. And it was clear, because these two were dating, this 8th grade teacher and my creative writing teacher were dating, that he had went to try to cover up these things very badly at that, because his shirt was in the yard. Frankly, I'm pretty sure it's still in the yard. I don't think we ever really cleaned it up unless somebody else did. Fast forward, and I get this weird twitch in my eye randomly. It's not a problem at first, and then every time I would read, my eye would twitch uncontrollably for 20 minutes straight, and I can't even replicate it now. So it's not like I was faking this. Because I try to convince myself that I was just faking all of this. I think it's just because all the doctors believe I was faking it. So I'm like, was I really saying, But I can't even replicate it. And lights were a trigger, reading was a trigger. So, obviously it's hard to do creative writing when you can't read. And my phone wasn't as bad, very dim and all these little tricks, but it was still bad. So I went to this doctor, my eye sphincter, yes, the one in your booty hole, yep, was it was messed up. I was drinking my water, and then my lips tasted like plastic. I don't think that's good. Did I just ingest plastic? I said it's so hard to get my phone in there because, it's like this, so you have to push it out, but then it's so hard to push it out. I don't know. And it would just go away on its own, and at some point, but then, until then, you're fucked. Well, once again, kind of makes it hard to read and write. And the assignments I was doing, I was good at. I got good grades. And he assigned so much. My friend took his class the next year, and he admitted his fault that, because my year was his first year teaching this class, that he assigned too many assignments. But with my 504, and a pattern you will hear frequently is that teachers never honored my extended time and lessened workload. He He did not believe in that. And he and all of my other teachers were fully aware of my condition. And yet, while his wife was in labor with their first child, and I know this, I was on her Snapchat story, she was actively in the hospital in labor with their first child. He sent me a snarky email that I wasn't doing any of the work. Like, sir.
Entrepreneurship.
So I already talked about my former math teacher with the big following on TikTok who I will one day seek revenge on. And I'm serious about that. But my entrepreneurship teacher, So this man was only a teacher so that he could be a football coach. He had no business teaching a class, any class, period. This man spoke to me and my mom like we were stupid, like the stupidest people on the face, stupidest people on the face of the planet. Because, like, we always gave updates on me when I couldn't do work. Like, I'm going to see a doctor. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And my mom was, like, an enforcer of my 504, as she should be. It's federally regulated. And this man would just argue with my mom about missing assignments. Once again, reduce workload. Who? Reduce workload. Me. And, like, I was trying. It's not like I wasn't doing any of the work. I was trying. Here is text between me and my mom. Like, I was putting in effort. On an additional note, like, my texts were pathetic. Maybe if I was in class, like in school, physical school, this would have been a better class. Like, looking back on the screenshots I sent my mom with the assignments, they didn't look horrible. Like, they weren't horrible-ish. But I didn't have any instructions, so they were pretty bad. Like, if you know me, I'm an optimistic person. Like, I don't seek out negativity actively. But, like, teachers wanted to act like I was the biggest inconvenience, and they did not know what to do with me, and yada, yada, yada. So it's just like, why should I be kind to you? I will never be the bigger, better person. Like, that's the conclusion of this video. I will never be that. But, kisses. I love you guys. Mwah.